Welcome everybody to Rob's MetalWorks. We are here at the Alamo City Music Hall. It's a great pleasure to welcome back to the program long-standing vocalist, the man, Trevor Phipps from the mighty Unearth is back on the show. Sir, how are you doing?
Good to be back, man. It's been, what, 13 years? A long time. Long time.
It has been, but God, no better time. Because as I was telling you off camera, I'm just a huge fan of the record that is about to drop for all you people we're going to talk about here in a bit. Man, you guys are back with a great vigor, and I'm so happy to see it. Tell us a little bit about how you've been, because correct me if I'm wrong, this record's going to drop like 4 years since your last record, and that hasn't been the case in the history of Unearth.
Right, yeah, we took our time to write this one. We did our last record, Watch as a Rule, open up some different territories for us. I think we went to Indonesia 3 times in that record. We went to Europe. We had almost a 7-week-long tour with Arch Enemy over there. So we did some different touring. We've been on 6 continents now. We just keeping going at it. But we wanted to take our time writing this record. This is our 7th record. We wanted to be ultra sure there was no filler tracks and make sure that it sounded fresh. You know, and I think we just got kind of re-inspired by the state of metal today. And I think the time off from writing too much really kind of helped us kind of hone our writing skills and also get, you know, a lot of material out there.
Yeah.
And we just kind of whittled it down to the best 10 songs. We had 24 to start with, and that's the most we've ever had going into a recording session. Usually we don't have any songs to cut, if maybe one. And this time there was 14 that got sliced.
You know, it's also not new news to people out there, but people who keep up with the band know that the new record, Extinctions, which will be out on November 23rd in just a couple weeks now, is on a new label. You guys are on Century Media. Watches the Rule was on E1 Music. Was that also kind of the business side, also kind of helping to delay a little bit of kind of taking care of that business?
Not so much. So we were for a long time we were with Metal Blade, and they're an amazing label, great people, and it was a family atmosphere for us. When our contract was up, we wanted to try something different and do something more of what would get us around the world in different territories. So we did E1 North America, Central Media Europe. In Japan, we did a label from Japan called Howling Bull, and Australia we did one called Three Wise Records. It's a lot to keep up with. The label in Australia went under, and so we did a bunch of one-record deals. Century Media definitely, I think, did the best on that album cycle for us. And when you know that record was up, they wanted to get us for the whole world. So it was just kind of a no-brainer. Yeah. That didn't take up too much time. Oh, okay. I mean, we just wanted to write and focus and make sure we had the best record. And some of our family lives, you know, a bunch of us are dads now, and we didn't want to just rush into putting out a record. Yeah.
And it seems like, you know, one of the great success stories of Unearth. I mean, you guys are like almost like 2 decades into a career now.
It's our 20th year now.
Wow, that's amazing. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it doesn't feel like it's been 20 years, but it's cool to say it's been 20 years. We're not out here doing a 20-year anniversary tour, because essentially we didn't start touring until 2001. So in like 98 to 2001, we were just in college, more of the weekend warriors, going at it. And then 2001 is when we really, you know, stretched out our necks out there. You know what I mean? It's just to try and tour a lot. So it's been essentially 17 full years of touring.
Wow, I mean, amazing. And I think one of the beautiful things is that now, even, you know, with the 7th record, almost 20 years in, that the band just sounds stronger and mightier than ever. I mean, I was telling you off camera, you said, Rob, did you get the record? Or I said, yeah, I've had it for like a couple of weeks and I've been throwing it down, and it's so brutal, and it reminds me of, you know, just a band that is like reinvigorated and so determined to make a stand. And I think that's part of the reason that so many people continue to follow Unearth. That's why your fan base all over the world has continued to stay behind you guys, because you guys just keep delivering. Right on. And you guys have really delivered on this record, and I can't wait for all the people out there to hear it.
I appreciate that, man. We of course, we take great pride in what we do, and so we want every record to be better than the last. And sometimes you try like hell and it doesn't work. This time, I feel like we tapped into something. Every band says when they record a record, it's our best one.
Yeah.
Because you're so emotionally involved in it that you feel it. But something feels different about this one. Like me, Ken and Buzz talked about it after we got the mix. We're like, we always like our records, but there's something about this that just feels different. It feels to us kind of very similar to how things felt after we got the mix to the Oncoming Storm.
Yeah.
I think they're very different records. I'm not comparing the records, but it's just the excitement we felt about the songs.
Yeah.
And the shelf life, I've had this mix since May, and it's still in rotation for me. And I'm a fan of our own band. I like listening to us, but of course I need to listen to other stuff. And this one has been in constant rotation since I got the record because I like the songs a lot. I think it's a great record, tracks 1 through 10, and I think it's going to do a lot of good things for us. And you know, we'll be out here supporting it anyway.
Yeah, you know? It's definitely a staple. I mean, in your discography. So let's jump right into it. And for all you people out there who have not yet caught on, yes, the brand new Unearth record will come out November 23rd. It is called Extinctions. This record coming out soon on Century Media Records. You guys released a single earlier in 2018, the Incinerate single. You guys did a lyric video. Is that correct for that single?
I don't think we did a lyric video. No, we did.
No, that was for
Survivalists. Right. So yeah, we just.
But you released a single for Incinerate.
Yeah, we just did it on all those streaming services. Got it out there because we were on Warped Tour.
And it did very well.
Yeah, it did. It was first on it was number 1 on Devil's Dozen on Sirius XM. It made all kinds of playlists online, and that was something attention that we haven't been used to in recent years. So it was met with some nice acclaim, and then we put out Survivalist after Warped Tour, and that one's doing well. And then we just put out another one, kind of on the DL, called One with the Sun.
Yeah.
The reason why we haven't made any kind of press release about it being available online currently is that the video is done, and I think it's dropping on Thursday. So we wanted to make it one big press release. Here's our new song with the video, because if that's been done, they just had to coordinate the release of the video.
Dude, that's my favorite song. It's like totally fucking brutal.
Right on. It might be.
God, I think that's like the heaviest Unearthed song ever.
It might be my favorite song in our entire catalog.
No way.
Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah. So. God. That's when I heard that song, I was like, why didn't they make this one the first single?
Well, because we want to make the first video. So that we all put our foot down, like that's the song that we want to push the most with the single. And who knows if it'll do as well as Incinerate did, but we feel very strongly about it.
Let's not blow our wad too soon.
Right, exactly. So
lots of great songs on this record.
We like it, and sometimes you might love a song and it might not translate to everybody, but we just wanted to give it the proper shot, make it the first video, and if people like it, that's awesome. If not, then it's a song that we'll like anyway.
I think one of the things that was really cool too for me as a fan was that when I heard this record, it's like, yeah, this is Unearth, but it's really heavy, new songs, fresh. Talk a little bit, share a little bit. I mean, you and Ken and Buzz have been doing this for a long time. How has that kind of relationship, the ups, the downs, continuing to maintain the band, kind of helped you guys get to this kind of point? Really, where you've even said, Rob, we have families, we're more mature now, we're more focused now. How has that helped?
It's really helped. I mean, it's almost like there's a blind understanding between us. Like sometimes we don't have to say, and things will get done because it's been so long now. I mean, we knew each other before Unearth started. Ken and Buzz were in a band called .04, and I was in a band called Second Division, and our bands would play together. So they played in a band together. I played shows with them. So we have 20 plus years of history. So that really helps us. Our writing has changed over the years. Before we used to write in a basement together. And then it was a garage, then it was a studio, and now everyone's scattered. Like our drummer lives in Seattle, our bass player lives out in Texas. So,
do you still live in Massachusetts?
I do. I live about an hour from both Ken and Buzz, and they live about an hour from each other too. So we kind of live in this weird triangle of space. So we don't get a chance to rehearse much together. So basically, what we do when we write a record now is we file share. And Ken and Buzz will write a song on guitar, send it to us to talk about arrangements. Then we get it to the producer, and then first to Nick, then to the producer. And then when we get the final product of how it's going to be, structured, that's when I start to put down my vocal rhythms, and then the lyrics are the last to come by me. So it's a different method than we had in the years past, but I think we kind of really dialed it in on this record.
Technology has really helped with that too, from back in the old days.
We couldn't have done that back in the day. I mean, when the band first started, I would literally, in the basement, had like a boombox, and it was just a tape, and I would press record. So you get just that raw sound of the practice room, and that's how I'd write lyrics. So this really staticky, noisy, redlining sound. But that's how I did it back then.
Yeah.
And now it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah. I'm sorry, that fucking hum just threw me off.
Yeah.
All you people, that was not my mic. Something happening behind this wall. Yeah.
Agony scene. They're ripping it up right now.
Very cool. So let's talk about lyrically before we move on from Extinctions. Kind of really like an ominous record. Obviously we live in a very crazy dynamic world now, and I've had several discussions in the past years about the role of social media in that. I saw a documentary not too long about the Facebook dilemma and how just the masses kind of can get controlled in a way or swayed in a bit just because of things that they see online. Much of it may be real, much of it may be fake. But I hear some of the lyrics with what you're writing. Sometimes people are putting their personal demons online. They're dealing with a lot of tragedies in their life, and I hear a lot about that in this record. So share lyrically for all those people who dig on that, what you were saying with Extinctions. Obviously kind of like an ominous kind of title also for the record.
Yeah, each song deals with a loss or death in some way. To go to your first point, I think outlets like Facebook have led us down the wrong path. People will see a meme, or they'll see some strange site that doesn't corroborate their stories, or they just have made up quotes, and people don't take the time to look it up to find if it's real or not. And then all of a sudden this algorithm is there where then it shows you more stuff like this, and so then it just reinforces your belief in a certain way. As opposed to when I was a kid, I would just put on, my parents would have on the news, and it was Dan Rather or Tom Brokaw, and he would just read the news in the most boring fashion, and they weren't telling you what to think. They were just giving you the actual events of the day with no opinion to it. Now every news program you put on, it doesn't matter if it's conservative or left wing, they're telling you what to think.
Right.
Can we just chill out? Can we just have everything bland and dry, give us the news? Then I think we'd all have a much clearer sense of what's going on, and we'd all be a lot less divided. So that's to your first point. There are songs that deal with suicide right now. That's a major thing going on, and a lot of people battle demons and darkness, and it's something that people have to deal with. And so there's a song that touches on that. There's a couple songs that deal with the environment. How that it's clear to me that man is a major culprit in destroying the environment, and we need to act fast in order for it not to mess up the future for our kids and their kids. For just our future generations, and so that's a major concern of mine. Where I definitely put it out there on the record, and also I'm trying to not be divisive on this record. I'm trying to be as clear as I can be with what I'm saying, objective, and I'm trying to have people to see it the way I'm seeing the world right now. I'm not trying to be a preacher. I'm just out here just saying this is how I see the world. If you like any of this, just investigate it, look it up yourself, and let's all come together a bit more than we are. Because I see too many people, people fighting, families getting in fights or splitting up, not talking, because they're so wound up about these seemingly small subjects that have been escalated to a point where now you're fighting with somebody, and we can't have any of that. We need to stand together, and that's what the lyric in Incinerate is: e pluribus unum, and it's out of many one.
Right.
So that's
like unity in a sense.
Exactly. So let's put down the small differences and find common ground, and that's what a lot of this record is. And there's a lot of fire in there too. There's a lot of me, saying what I believe is wrong. But I think people should just open their eyes and see what's going on, and don't digest the news that is telling you what to do.
I think a lot of people feel that way. I mean, this is just a crazy dynamic world that we're in, and it's a little scary. And I think sometimes social media has alienated so many different people too, because, like, for example, on my personal Facebook, and I know lots of people, I have like 80 friends, and I love to keep it small, man, because I don't want everybody to know, you know, all my personal business. And it's kind of scary, you know, to think that, you know, someone can look you up or Google you and know something about you, and if they want to be malicious, that they can. So putting yourself out there is kind of scary, and the whole suicide thing too. I mean, we've lost so many great people in music this past year.
Yeah, we have. It's been a sad thing, and I know a lot of people deal with that. You know, they deal with the darkness within. So it's just a song to vent about it. You know, I have songs that have dealt with it before. Just because our song "Endless," that's a song that's about me battling certain feelings. You know what I mean? Because everyone battles something. Everyone's got their own shit. So the song "Dust" in this record deals with it even more intensely. And
you know, I might edit this out, but you were telling me off camera, Rob. You know, I have 2 young children now. How is having a family now kind of reinvigorated you or made you see life differently?
It's definitely inspired me to be a better lyricist, to be a better performer. To try to provide even better for my kids.
Yeah.
I've always loved life, but having the 2 kids, I just love life more. You know, I want to live as long as I can to be there for them.
Did you discover unconditional love through your children?
Of course, I think I had it before for certain people or sometimes animals, but with my daughter, she was born first, and when she was a baby, I just picked up the guitar, would play and sing to her, and I've maintained it. And I think that helped me improve as a vocalist as well on this record. So just small things like that as well.
First of all, you know, I also got to talk about just like how great this record fucking sounds, man. It sounds great in my truck and in the stereo. So, who worked on this record? Tell a little bit of the people out there what you guys did on the back end to kind of just make this record sound so great.
So the producer is Will Putney. He's producer. He engineered it. He mixed it, mastered it, everything.
He's done a lot of cool stuff too.
Yeah, he's got his finger on the pulse.
Yeah,
that dude's awesome. He's a great coach as well, vocally for me. So I went in there, and it was excellent recording with him. The first few days I was sore as hell because it was just take after take. We had a couple other guys come in. We had Adam D engineer the drums because he's out West Coast where our drummer is. We had DL formerly of the Cage Strain. He helped with Ken write a couple of songs. And then we had Shane Frisbee did a couple songs on vocals to engineer because Will ran out of time. So we had a few different producers in there, but the main guy was Will.
Yeah. You guys are currently on this headlining run right now, and you know the holidays are almost upon us. What does 2019 hold for the band?
We just announced a European tour, a co-headliner, us and Darkest Hour, and Misery Signals, Left Behind, and Malevolence are on the tour as well. So that's gonna be a banger. It's a 2-week tour, a short one, but it's a lot of great cities. And I think we're doing a similar thing in Canada in February. It's not announced yet, but I think it's about to be announced. And then we're looking to do more world stuff. Hopefully go back to Japan, Australia, maybe China or somewhere in Southeast Asia, and then
summer festivals maybe.
Working on American festivals, probably the early summer, and hopefully European festivals late summer. But we don't know any of that yet. That's just kind of our penciled-in plan. But we'll be out there supporting the record.
Well, this record, hasn't even dropped yet, so I imagine you guys are going to be busy at least until this time next year.
Yeah, it comes out on this tour, and we'll see how it does. And how the record does will dictate the tours we do. So we can only line up the initial first part of the touring cycle on it, and then whatever comes of the success of the record will then dictate what our tours are.
Cool, man. Well, Trevor, I wish you all the best this coming year. As we end out, though, people love to come see you guys play because you guys throw down every night, man. I always love to see your performance videos. I haven't seen one yet. Will there be one forthcoming for Extinctions?
You mean so the actual
live? No, just like a support video, a performance video.
I'm sure there'll be something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do Incinerate, or maybe we'll pick a different track on the record, but that'll be later. Right now,
or another DVD.
I don't think they make those anymore, do they? Well, maybe something for YouTube. We'll figure out a way. But yeah, we take a lot of pictures. We have some videos, but we have 2 videos coming out. We have one with the sun, and we also shot one for No Reprisal as well. And so it's.
Can you share a little bit about what kind of videos are those? Like kind of maybe like acting videos, or animation.
It's us performing on the screen, but it also has actors in it, and that's the one about the environment. And I actually have my daughter's in it. She actually sings in the song as well. I mean, she sings along with me, so it's hard to hear her, but she's in there, and she's in the video as well as a few other people. And then we haven't picked what No Reprise is going to be about. They just shot the performance portion of it before we left for tour, and we have to figure out what the treatment's going to be.
Yeah, cool.
So.
Well, I'm glad you're going to put something out there, man. People want to see you guys throw down. Trevor, any last words, anything I missed that you want to share about Unearth or yourself for people around the world who will see this interview?
Thanks for the support. 20 years in, we're still going. Check out Extinctions, November 23rd on Century Media, and see you on the road.
Yeah. Trevor, thank you, sir.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you. God, it's so great to reconnect with you. I've always dug you, man, as a person, and I dig your band very much. That's why we're out here supporting.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Remember, everyone out there, the brand new record from Unearth is called Extinctions. It's going to be out November 23rd. Go to your music outlets online and download it, or are there going to be physical copies? Hopefully Century Media is going to put out some physical copies somewhere.
We have vinyl too. Vinyl, CDs, a bunch of different color vinyl. So they're being great to us. They're doing a lot more than any other label has done with stuff like that, with the vinyls and with the different options. So it's really cool.
Yeah. Great packages to get some hard copies in your hands as well. Go to centurymedia.com. You saw the man, Trevor Phipps of Unearth, only right here on Rob's MetalWorks.
Listen